All right, YouTube, thank you for coming in today. February 26, 2022. World stage events are underway. We're going to give you guys a full breakdown here. Before I get into this one, though, I do want to say that we are risking a lot right now by talking about these certain groups, these entities, these world powers, these private central bankers. We're naming the names and putting this whole thing together for you guys. And I do risk having this channel being taken down. I do risk being demonetized. So if you do want to support this channel, all I ask is that you share this message with other like-minded individuals, and that if you do want to head on in and support us, you can head on over to our Discord or zachrector.com and sign up for our Discord to get the full conversation. The unfiltered, uncensored truth happens over in the Discord, and I do appreciate all of your support, guys. Remember, I don't do any paid promotions. The only thing that I have is my Discord group, which is one way that you can support this channel. I do appreciate all of you guys so much. And I'm going to continue to lay it down. We're going to continue to drop the truth. And if they take us out, they take us out. But anyways, appreciate all of you. Let's get into the news today. So right here, this gives you a glance here. Back in June of last year, June 6, 2021, I dropped this, the Great Reset template, and this is the coming reset of the international monetary system. Now, if you fast forward to today, you have people that are sharing this image and trying to understand the SWIFT system, understand how this new system is going to be rolled out. I just wanted to show you that we've been sharing this image for almost a year now in our Discord group. We've been talking about the reset and how this is all going to be put together for over a year now. I've now hit my 1-year anniversary since I started putting out content. But yeah, we've been talking about this, the coming reset of the international monetary system. This is based off of Jim Rickards' book, The Death of Money. So I'm going to get into this at the end, but I just wanted to show you guys a glimpse. I haven't been posting much content on Patreon. Everything goes down in the Discord though. So if you do want access to that, it's linked up at zachrector.com. Now, before I get into this episode here today, I want to say that I'm going to just try to present some information that I came across. I'm not going to tell you guys what your opinion should be. I'm not going to share my opinion. At the end of this, I'm going to go into Q&A, but I'm just going to go through this news. I'm going to go through this story. This is not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to pick sides. I'm not saying that Putin's a good guy or a bad guy. He's taking action, okay? And we're going to watch what happens closely. And my thoughts and prayers do go out to all the people across the world that are being affected. So before I go into this, I just wanted to say that I'm not telling you to pick a side. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just presenting the news as I see it. I'm presenting the findings that I come across. Every day here, we continue to expose this system and what's really behind the events that are playing out. It's up to you to make a decision. It's up to you to prepare yourself for the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, or stand by on the sidelines and not take action. So let's get into this. Okay, so this is coming from a person named Tucker Max. I don't know who this is, on Twitter. It says, a lot of people ask me why I posted about ignoring the Ukraine-Russian war. I don't know war, but I do know media, and everything about how the war is being covered is sending up major red flags to me. 2 quick examples, and this is the point that I'm talking about. Red flags have been going off since the very beginning of this thing. Let me remind everyone that the president of Ukraine was an actor 2 years ago today. I'm not saying that he's an actor today, but I just find the actions of him very interesting. Very interesting. Let's get into this. This is the fake news stories that have already been starting to pop up out of this situation, and it's been proven facts now. So hero stories pop up immediately that end up not being true. The 13 guards telling the Russian naval ship to F off, turns out they surrendered. The ghost of Kiev doesn't seem to be true. The ghost of Kiev was some Ukraine, basically their Air Force pilot or something that had been taking down a bunch of Russian jets. That story seems to not be true. The sunflower seed story, okay, you had a TikTok going around to some lady going up to the Russian troops and telling them, hold these sunflowers in your pockets because that's the only thing that's going to grow up after your whatever. I'm going to be careful with my words here. Most telling, media runs them uncritically. That's right. So guys, my point being, the Western media is lying to us. I'm not saying that there's not real events taking place, that Russia isn't moving in on Ukraine. I'm saying that the Western media is lying to us every single day, and they have been. By the way, if you want to see what a real invasion looks like, go look up the clips of 2003 Operation Iraqi Freedom when we came in on Baghdad. That's what an all-out bombing invasion looks like. So when I see clips of that, then we can start to compare. Okay? Go look up the clips of 2003 Operation Iraqi Freedom, where we came on and annihilated in the middle of the night. Looked like a scene out of Star Wars. Leveling cities and blocks. And we have millions of lives on our hands through the Operation Iraqi Freedom. So before we want to criticize big bad guy Putin, let's get the truth about the story before we come to an emotional opinion based off of Western media lies. Okay? The biggest weird thing to me, no one stopped buying oil gas from Russia. The money doesn't lie. When you follow the money, why haven't they cut them off of SWIFT? Why haven't they put sanctions on Putin? Oh, they got some Russian oligarchs, right? They've started to do a little sanctions against a few of the banks, but they haven't stopped buying the oil and gas. Germany said they will keep buying. U.S. State Department went so far as to say explicitly that sanctions are designated to not stop the flow of gas. So he's such a big bad guy, but we're going to keep on operating and doing deals for the gas and the oil. And we're not going to kick you off the SWIFT system. I've been calling the bluff of our country since the very beginning. Tucker says, remember, this is some guy named Tucker Max. I don't even know who this guy is. I have no doubt that real Ukrainians, civilians are dying and suffering on the ground, and that sucks. But do these actions seem like the actions of warring states? No. In the American media, it seems a spectacle put on to either distract or manufacture consent. I'm not going to fall for it. The primary power media and its masters have over us is our attention. I choose to not give it to them. Yes, trolls aside from writing this. LOL. Today I'm feeding my cows, going to BJJ's, and being with my family. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and being with my family. Now, for those of you guys who don't want to believe this random guy off of Twitter, which I'm telling you guys to go confirm all this. You don't have to take my word as absolute fact. Go confirm it with yourself, or you can just flip back on MSNBC, CNN, or the Fox News if you want. This is from an actual military combat vet right here confirming that these narratives are fake. And for those who want proof that the Snake Island soldiers surrendered, the UK Ministry of Defense seemed to even admit it. So before, you had the Ukrainian government released video, audio, and claimed that the Snake Island defenders fought to the death. Russia claimed they surrendered and released video. Now, Ukraine Ministry of Defense acknowledges that they surrendered. So the point is that we're being lied to. We're being lied to. And we have a lot of hypocrites in this country, specifically in our media, and anyone that goes along with this media narrative. Check out this tweet. There has been a literal genocide being conducted by Saudi Arabia against the people of Yemen for years now. None of you have stood with Yemen. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't send our thoughts and prayers to the people of Ukraine. All I'm saying is that we're being hypocritical here. And none of us understand. I don't understand the full geopolitical aspect of this situation. But we're sitting here being armchair keyboard warriors, putting the little Ukraine symbol as our profile picture and doing stupid shit like that. That's a joke. Pathetic. Now, why are these events playing out? Let's get into it. We have this speech from Vladimir Putin, which is, here's the thing, guys. I recommend you to go listen. Go listen. Don't just listen to the mainstream media. Don't just listen to the echo chamber that is Western media. Go listen to what Putin's saying in his speeches. Doesn't mean you have to like Putin. Go listen to what he's saying. Let me run this clip for you guys. I see we got a couple super chats. I'll get back to you guys after I go through this news. Let me make sure I got this. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're going to play this clip of Putin speaking.
На Россию вводят какие-то ограничения. Доллар пользовался очень большим доверием во всем мире. Это почти единственная была универсальная.
The dollar enjoyed the reserve currency status. It was almost the only universal currency in the world. So this is Vladimir Putin saying the dollar enjoyed great trust around the world, but for some reason it is being used as a political weapon, imposing restrictions. Many countries are now turning away from the dollar as a reserve currency. US dollar will collapse soon. This is why these events are unfolding. It all comes back to money. You have to follow the money.
Мировая. Зачем-то Соединенные Штаты начали использовать долларовые расчеты как инструмент политической борьбы. Вводить ограничения на использование доллара. Своими руками начали пилить сук, на котором сидят. Но скоро они грохнут.
They began to bite the hands that feed them. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's why they won't kick them off of SWIFT, because they want to keep getting fed. They want to keep Russia on the system. That's called a bluff, Joe. Our good friend Joe running the show, that's a bluff.
Доллары сокращаются как резервная валюта во многих государствах мира. Иран ограничивает в долларовых расчетах, на Россию вводит какие-то ограничения, на другие страны. Это подрывает доверие к доллару. Неужели это непонятно? Своими руками уничтожают.
Isn't it clear they're destroying the dollar with their own hands? So here in America, we have our Federal Reserve printing this thing into oblivion, $30 trillion in debt, hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of unfunded liabilities. And then we get surprised when the rest of the world wants to ditch the US dollar. They don't get surprised. They know what they're doing. The new system's ready to go. That's why they're moving in and destroying this current one.
Доллар.
But like he says, the dollar enjoyed great trust around the world, but for some reason it is being used as a political weapon, imposing restrictions. Many countries are now turning away from the dollar as a reserve currency. US dollar will soon collapse. Now remember, we talked about the Rothschilds quote from back in the day. I care not who runs the country, let me issue the currency. Something along those lines. I butchered that, but you guys get the deal. Right? Doesn't matter who's running the country. It's about the money. Now we continue on here from Gold Telegraph. Breaking news. India is exploring ways to set up a rupee payment mechanism for trade with Russia. Pay attention, things are moving very fast now. And if you remember, Joe, our guy who's running the show, said that he didn't know if India was going to stand with us with sanctions and stand with us. They're not going to. They're not going to. India knows what's happening. And that's why they're exploring ways to set up a rupee payment mechanism for trade with Russia. Pay attention. Things are moving very fast now. Exactly. This is ushering in the new financial system. Now, I got a few posts here to share from Esoteric XRP on Twitter. Huge shout out to him. He always drops some good stuff. So this post, we're going to go through some of what the XRP insiders have been telling us for years about the events that are unfolding now. BRICS will go first. Now that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and what's the S? Oh shoot, I'm at South America. Right? Brazil, Russia, India, China. Is it South America? I think it is. Regardless, BRICS will go first. XRP kept low until the last minute, and then they create instant value from gold backing to level the playing field. So let's take a look here. One of the OG XRP insiders, Tony Valentino, who, he's one of these characters that disappeared off of the internet. After dropping all of the inside scoop on how the reset was going to play out, what was going to happen with XRP, all of these people just dropped off the face of the internet. XRP will be backed by gold for the new monetary system. This is one theory as to why nobody's interested in bringing value to XRP right now. There's no rush, even as the global economy crashes. This phoenix will rise from the ashes with instant value from gold backing. Now, let me remind everyone, I don't really think that XRP needs to be backed by gold. It can be backed by the utility, the function as a bridge currency. But I'm going to show you guys at the end about how this really works out, how in a sense it's going to be backed by gold. I'll show you guys at the end. Now from Rachel Lee, another one. Here's the thing. It's the same old mind games being played. Oh look, big banks will be last. Smaller guys will use it first. XRP is falling behind. XRP is the underdog. Everyone cry for Ripple and XRP. Shame. Now public opinion is like big banks are last and XRP is useless. That is exactly where we are at, right? XRP missed this bull run. XRP is never going to all-time high again. The SEC screwed you guys over. You have no chance. No banks are using XRP. Rachel Lee continuing on. Once this opinion is achieved, XRP rises like the phoenix it is. Big banks are not last. Big banks literally own most of the small banks via investments. XRP will dominate because it's the best and chosen liquidity asset. But hey, good job, Ryan Zagone and Brad Garlinghouse. Play underdog. That's exactly what has been happening. This is the underdog story. Now, continuing on in regards to the SWIFT payment system and their use of XRP. You can't hide related API function calls. SWIFT contains an implementation of the make-off ledger payment flow called Make Swift Payment. Make Swift Payment uses SWIFT APIs to submit SWIFT payment instruction. Oracle, which contains an implementation of the XRP Oracle service, which checks whether an XRP payment specified by a transaction hash has credited a specific XRP amount. There is also a stubbed out exchange rate Oracle, which is required for novating obligation face value token types. This is from Corda Settler. So if you guys are wondering what this is about the Swift API. Guys, you can't hide it. When they're building out the code to handle XRP, you can't hide it. So this is from GitHub, right, where the code is at. And if you scroll down here, using XRP as the settlement rail. So literally in the GitHub code for Corda Settler, using Swift. And remember, and this is so awesome, you have the Alice incurs an obligation to pay Bob. So you have the story there with Alice and Bob. Yes, so if you look here, right here in this Corda Settler, which Corda is supposed to be a blockchain agnostic settlement layer between banks, and they already have about 40% of the banks worldwide using Corda Settler. Yeah, this is all visible right here on GitHub. Continuing on. Now, this is the quote that I shared with you guys about a week ago when I made the video. Why are we going to war? That was what the video was called. And I shared this quote from Mayor Rothschild. Let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes the laws. Exactly. Now, from Tony Valentino. Money is power, and whoever controls the new financial system and blood of that system, XRP, will dominate. The IMF, BIS, etc. are all Western creations and tools. Wait for their announcements. Besides XRP, the West has all to counter China. They have nothing to counter China, Russia, and BRICS as a whole. When the BRICS nations unveil their new payment systems, and China in particular reveals their gold-backed crypto, do you think the Western world is going to just sit back or panic? You think they don't know what's coming and are preparing? XRP will restore the balance and power. I believe that this is why Joe talks about the executive order for crypto being a matter of national security. I'm waiting to see what that executive order really is about. But guys, everything is at stake here. And if you think for 1 second that the Western powers don't understand what Russia, China, and the BRICS nations have lined up and have planned, you're kidding yourself. Rachel Lee from May 21, 2018. Understand one thing about Ripple XRP. There's never going to be a gradual rise to the top. It's going to be an overnight mass adoption so as not to allow the entire world to stock up on XRP. We're right here at this moment, guys. Sometime in the next year, this thing is going to be flipped. Now, this thread here, the digital euro will be officially built on the XRP ledger thread. This is just this person's opinion. The EU has not confirmed it, but he gives us reasons. Ripple is on the Digital Pound Foundation. Ripple is, and see, this is the Western powers getting ready. They know what Brazil, Russia, India, China, and the South America countries are building. This is what the euro dollar is all about. This is what the pound, digital pound, is going to be about. Our Fed is going to launch a central bank digital currency. The powers that be in the Western world are preparing for this great reset. So Ripple, we have them on the Digital Pound Foundation. They're part of the Digital Euro Foundation. And then recently, we just saw the Digital Euro Association bring out the XRP Ledger video info series. So why? Please tell me why we have the Digital Euro Foundation making intro videos about the XRP Ledger. They're not talking about any other cryptos. 99% of the cryptos can't even get people at these associations to pick up the phone. They never sit down at the table. They never sit down on stage with the IMF, with the BIS, with the Federal Reserve, with the Digital Euro Foundation, Digital Euro Association, Digital Pound Foundation. So why is the Digital Euro Association creating intro to XRP Ledger videos? We don't need to have little TikTok kids promote this coin. We have the Digital Euro Foundation promoting the coin. Do you get it? Ripple doesn't need to pay me or any other kids here on TikTok to promote. They have the Digital Euro Foundation. Fourth reason, the European Union moves to ban Bitcoin and proof of work. Fifth reason, ECB dog whistling to the world to hurry up with their own crypto regulations. So the European Central Bank urges on crypto regulation in wake of Russian sanctions. Christine Lagarde, who used to be the head of the IMF, who Brad Garlinghouse walked hand in hand with in on the Bank of International Settlements meeting back in 2019 when Ripple and Brad went to the table with the Bank of International Settlements and the International Monetary Fund. He walked in with Christine Lagarde on his arm. That's how it was described to us. I don't know if that literally happened, but that's what we were told, is that Brad literally walked in with Christine Lagarde on his arm. I don't think that actually happened, but you guys get the point. Your cryptocurrency isn't showing up at that meeting. No, you guys ain't showing up at that meeting. That was back in 2019. We've been talking about this for years, and our time has finally come, guys. Sixth reason, the IMF has confirmed that Bitcoin's proof of work is a failure. They confirm proof of stake has its own limitations and concerns. So proof of stake is just a upgrade from proof of work, but it still has problems. Basically, the people with the most amount of money get to be the stakeholders in those systems. So they're not very decentralized. Issue number 7. All of this has been happening while the US government has been trying to bring crypto regulations. All of this has been happening while there is one crypto going through the legal gauntlet. So as we go through all these world events, as we have crypto regulations on the brink of being passed here and laid out in America, we have one cryptocurrency with all eyes on it, with the whole spotlight of the world on it. This issue with Russia has brought about the SWIFT. Now SWIFT is trending on Twitter. People who have no idea what SWIFT is, they haven't heard about it since the last week, are now talking about SWIFT. All eyes are on one cryptocurrency to rule them all. Eight, it's not Bitcoin being audited by regulators. It's not Ethereum being examined by the government. It's XRP, baby. XRP, the standard. Reason number 9, the EU is tired of the US legal delays. This case coming to a conclusion will bring a wave of XRP adoption that will shock everyone. All other regulatory compliant cryptos will be a complement to the new system, but XRP is the one. Now, this clip of Jim Rickards, which I'm about to show you guys, the coming reset of the international monetary system, the theory, the template that we are given and I'm about to present to you is based off of Jim Rickards' theories. And I highly recommend you read his books.
All these countries are trying to get out from under dollar hegemony, and that's going to happen.
Let me play this from the beginning. Now, this Benjamin S. Sir Bully Crypto says XRP is the SDR. Remember, SDR is the special drawing rights, the world money issued by the IMF.
All these countries are trying to get out from under dollar hegemony, and that's going to happen.
And then there goes the power of the U.S. to impose these sanctions, right?
Correct, because if you, first of all, they're all building alternate payment systems. Even the German foreign minister the other day said Europe needs an alternate payment system. They could do cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. I don't like Bitcoin at all. But you could create a new cryptocurrency with a distributed ledger with China and Putin. So imagine a Xi coin and a Putin coin. They could denominate.
And then you need a neutral bridge asset. Putin coin, Xi coin, Sleepy Creepy coin. Then you need the bridge currency, the one currency to rule them all.
In SDRs, that's a special drawing right. That's the world money that comes from the IMF. They could back it up with gold. And notice that the dollar is not involved. Everything I just described doesn't involve the dollar. So that's why this could, if the U.S. doesn't reassert dollar hegemony, one good way to do that would be if the U.S. started buying more gold. I don't expect that to happen, but that would be, part of my advice. If the U.S. doesn't do that, again, this whole alternate system, it's being created now. This is not science fiction, but it could affect the dollar very, very rapidly.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. So, as I shared with you guys back in June 6, 2021, last year, I shared this with you guys. This is being shared around social media now. Let me zoom in here and show you guys what we're talking about. So, we have gold at the very top. Remember, central banks are holding record amounts of gold, and this is the role that gold can play in this new financial system. Non-deflationary price of gold in a global gold-backed SDR standard. Now, this is just a theory. We don't know if this is exactly how it's going to be rolled out, but I do believe this makes a lot of sense. You have gold sitting at the top that backs the SDRs. The SDR, which would be defined as equal to a specific weight in gold. Now, below the SDRs, you have Tier 2, which is each local currency unit would be defined, each local currency would be defined as a specific quantity of SDRs. Since local currency is defined in SDRs and SDRs are defined in gold, by extension, every local currency would be worth a specific weight in gold. Finally, since every local currency is in a fixed relationship to SDRs and gold, each currency would also be in a fixed relationship to one another. Now, if we look here, XRP would be defined as a specific quantity of SDRs, just like the local currency. XRP would act as a bridge between digital central bank currencies, which themselves lack interoperability. So we have all these central bank digital currencies, the US, the Eurozone, Japan, China, UK. It just so happens that when we look here at these currencies, we have the Eurozone, which we now know Ripple is working with the Digital Euro Foundation, Digital Euro Association, and we know that they're working with the Digital Pound Foundation. And then we know that they're in the most staged lawsuit in the history of the SEC with the United States government. And we know that Brad and his team at Ripple has been meeting with our government all the way back since the last administration, right? Cutting deals with our administration, the previous administration, back in 2017, 2018. Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz meeting with Jay Clayton 2 months after the Hinman speech, before the lawsuit was filed against them. Okay, so this is how we expect the new financial system to be rolled out and the structure of it, with gold at the top backing SDRs, and below the SDRs, you're going to have each central bank issuing their own country, and they're going to have to figure out what they're going to back them by. See, since each local currency is in a fixed relationship to SDRs and gold, each currency would also be in a fixed relationship to one another. XRP would act as a bridge between digital central bank currencies which themselves lack interoperability. Now, I do want to cover this, guys. There is still a scenario that we go swoop down to the downside one more time. Okay, this is from XRP Pharaoh 33. Small fake pump to 83 cents to 85 cents. Then we fall between 25 and 33 cents, hoping to finally get a strong reaction from that area. Let's see how this plays out. There is no time frame as to how long this may take. Can take days, weeks, or months. Now, this tweet was put out on February 3rd at the very beginning of this month. So, as we've seen, we did catch that fake pump, or maybe it was a real pump, but we did catch that pump here up to 80 cents, right? I see us, we have major support at 50 cents. Major support at 50 cents, but if we do get some sort of one more big scare event, it is possible, but I think that we are in the clear personally. What day I'm looking at is Monday. Monday, the end of the month. I'm looking for one more scare event on Monday before we continue back up to the upside. If you do not have XRP though, I would not be waiting around for these prices. It is not worth the risk to wait around and think that you're going to be able to buy XRP on the low for sure. Nothing is guaranteed. But we gotta understand that potential is still there. Here is the massive wedge that XRP is in right now. So you guys can see here that this thing is ready to break out very, very soon. Very soon. We're going to zoom in on the 5-minute chart. Look at some 5-minute candles. We'll watch this thing closely at 75 cents. It was nice to see the pump yesterday, but we'll watch this one closely. So we're zoomed in on the 5-minute chart. You guys have seen the news that I have to present for you today. Let's get into rapid fire Q&A. 529 people in the YouTube chat. Thank you for tuning in. 238 on TikTok. Appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. If you do want access before YouTube and TikTok takes us down, you can head on over to the Discord at zachrector.com and get access to our exclusive community where you give you guys the full, unfiltered, uncensored truth, and we can freely speak and put this whole thing together for you guys. But I'm going to do my best. Let's go rapid fire Q&A. We'll answer all the questions. What minute are we at? 32 minutes. Okay, so for those of you who are rewatching, I'm going to go back, and in the description, I'm going to say news was covered for the first 30 minutes, and then we got into rapid fire Q&A and rants. I know people get upset that some of these lives go so long. Yeah, if you guys could hit the thumbs up, that'd be great. What do you think of the solo NFTs and the free quorum? I'm excited to see it. The quorum airdrops, I think, are just meant to hold people along to keep their sologenic. Should I buy hundreds or a couple thousand? Are you talking of XRP? I don't give financial advice, but I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't have some XRP. Buyback of gold has happened in the history of the US. Yep, so that is the precedent. Will there be a buyback? I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's your speculation is as good as mine. If we buy cryptocurrencies in dollar and let's say the dollar collapses, what will happen with the coins? Do we have to do something? No, you hold the new currency that actually maintains value. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to buy assets that are going to run the new financial system before the dollar collapses. The S is for South Africa. Okay, yeah, thank you. I forgot about South Africa. Yeah. But basically, you already have a lot of countries in South America that have moved away. Not that El Salvador's program has worked out for them with the Bitcoin. That program hasn't worked out for them. But yeah, you're seeing countries in South America move away. Countries across the world. I mean, everyone's ditching the dollar. Why would Ripple settle when they seem to be in command? Why not make the SEC fold and win the case against the SEC? I believe that Ripple has been working with the SEC and the government to roll out this new financial system. I believe that they have allocated a chunk of XRP for our Federal Reserve Treasury Department. I believe that they knew they're playing their part in this staged lawsuit, and all they want is clarity for XRP. So as long as they get clarity for XRP, they'll be fine. Do you think there's going to be another dip? I'm trying to load up more on XRP. I wouldn't wait, guys. I just bought, what was that, earlier this week? I bought more XRP at 65 cents. So I'm buying. If we dip more, I'll buy a whole lot more. You know, I wouldn't wait around for the dip, but it is possible. It is possible. We've gotten through the rough patch. I think that we've gotten through peak fear. If you look historically, the charts, they basically bottom out right as the invasion is beginning, and then after the invasion, they move up to the upside rather quickly. Do you think the Fed will adopt the technology? Yes, the Fed is, yes. Yes, all the central bank digital currencies are going to be rolled out probably within the next year. You should look into SHIB Toro. No. If I can't say a coin with a straight face, like if I can't say it without laughing about it, I don't look into it. I'm buying XRP on Uphold and Qcoin. South Africa. Yes, I know. Yes, the BRICS. Yes, I got that now. South Africa. Yes, got it. Yeah. As long as the judge isn't corrupted, Ripple will win. Ripple's been in great hands from the very beginning, guys. From the very beginning, Ripple has been in the best hands. I'm curious as your thoughts about the straw man argument. It turns out banks create our birth certificates. Are they using us as collateral for debt? I mean, most people have basically given their soul to their job, to the debt-based system. They're in debt up to their neck. So, I mean, I don't know. Just based off that, I would say that most people have kind of sold themselves out. Why would we want a CBDC that the government can shut off? Nothing can stop what's coming. That's the point. That's the point. But we're gonna hold the bridge currency that will tie all the central bank digital currencies together, so it will benefit us. Zach, did you see the Trump video where he said we need a new system? Our current system is old, outdated, and expensive. Yeah. Not South Africa, Spain. Guys, that's what I always talk about. Don't get caught up on little details like that. The whole world's ditching the US dollar, so yeah. You guys get the point. South Africa, South America, Spain, they're all ditching the dollar. So can XRP work without quant? Yes, the interledger ties it all together. Can you explain the term flip the switch? Yeah. Basically, they're going to shut down this existing system, and then so they're going to turn it off. Remember, the systems are on. The system is from the 1970s, this current SWIFT system, the current monetary system. They're going to flip the switch off. That's why they're talking about cyber attacks. Cyber attacks. Biden has been given a menu of cyber attack options for Russia. The threat from Russia is that Russia is going to attack our financial system, the power grid, cyber attacks in that regard. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I think is the plan, is to flip it off and then flip it back on. At that point, the new financial system will be ready to go and be released out to the masses. And you will not have time. That's why I've been saying that your time is running out to acquire these assets that are going to run the new financial system. You recommend buying XRP for the long term? Yes, I'm going to hold 90% of my XRP forever, pretty much is my plan. It's not about money or currency. It's about how we create value in the world. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you got to bring value to your community. You got to bring value to the world. It doesn't matter what currency we're using. If you don't have skills to pay the bills, you're going to struggle regardless. Doesn't matter what we're using for currency. You might actually be able to survive in the new system if they once they launch the UBI and we all just get to sit on the couch, smoke reefer all day and get fat, happy. I share my thoughts on Nasara Jasara. We're waiting for everything to be rolled out. New financial system, Nasara Jasara, the deals from the Trump administration. Remember, he did many executive orders. Many executive orders. I do believe that the plan has been all along for the collapse and for this world war to occur with the cabal in power. And then Trump's going to come back in 2024 and he's coming back hard. Bullish on reefer? Yeah, maybe buy some weed stocks, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I do believe that Trump is going to be president again. I think that that's been the plan all along. He's going to be, and you know, I'm not telling you guys to think that Trump's a good guy or a bad guy. You just have to look at the deals that were done. You have to look at how the world stage is set up. You can't think emotionally about it. It's just like people say, don't be emotionally invested. Well, you guys are emotionally invested in this political theater. Left-right paradigm. Oh, orange man bad. Oh, the Democrats have sold us out. Yes, they have. So have Republicans. So I come at both sides. I take out both sides. Is Trump the chosen AC? I don't, like I've been telling you guys, I don't try to get caught up on who's good, who's bad. I just try to understand how the world stage is playing out, and I position myself accordingly. I'm gonna let God judge these people, so I don't get caught up. Zach, Baba Cugs on Twitter mentioned that you need 20,000 XRP or don't celebrate. Do you think that that is true? Baba Cugs trolls everyone. Okay. Guys, 50,000 XRP won't be enough if you sell at $5. So that's the whole point of that. If you're asking that question, you need to do more research on XRP and the new financial system. If some influencer is saying that you need to have 30,000, that's the problem. You shouldn't be asking anyone how much XRP you need to have. You need to go understand what the new financial system is going to run on and come up with your own price predictions for how high you think it's going to get, and then determine how much wealth do you want to have. How much XRP can you afford to buy now? Why don't you trade anymore? The final phases of this bull run have been so manipulated that I stopped trading. I got wrecked last year trading futures. And I'm too focused on my businesses now to trade. It just takes up too much time. That's why I don't trade. The blue versus red is to keep all the plebs distracted. Money has always run the world. Exactly, Luke. Thank you. From Canada, 5 spot. Appreciate that. If you guys missed the start of this stream, the first 30 minutes of it were all the news that I covered. So if you're just tuning in, you can watch this after we're done here. You can go back and watch this video. The first 30 minutes were all of the news that I covered. Do you think that we're going to war or just chaos to usher in the new system? I think that you're gonna. I mean, yeah, yes, yes. Russia makes money off of illegal activities. Yeah, just like the rest of the world. Just like the rest of the world. Guys, as Americans, we can't be hypocritical here. We leveled cities, millions of lives lost in occupied countries for 2 decades. Just since the new millennium. So what are we supposed to be doing here as Americans? I stand with Ukraine. You have no freaking idea what is playing out on the geopolitical space right now. You literally couldn't find Ukraine on a map. 90% of the people that put I support Ukraine in their freaking Twitter profile picture or do any of that stupid stuff. And I'm not saying our thoughts and prayers don't go out to everyone affected. I'm just saying that as Americans, we're being hypocritical right now. We have no idea what's going on. But, I mean, it's the same story. Put hashtag BLM, put hashtag ACAB, hashtag this. You guys are all full of shit. You guys have no idea about the new financial system. You have no idea about geopolitics. You couldn't find Ukraine on a map. Go back to watching TikToks. And I'm only talking to like 1% of the people watching this right now. Some of the trolls in the chat. And I'm just giving you guys my view on the pathetic takes of people here in America and our Western media. Where is the XRP merch? Head to zachrector.com and you can find it there. Hype writers, exactly. Jericho, exactly, bro. Like, okay, here's the thing, guys. I have I have a few military sources. Active duty, not just average little guys. Active duty, and they know what's going down. That is why over the last month, I said, guys, the intel I'm getting from my sources is that they are going to make military moves after the Olympics conclude. At the same time, Russia moves on Ukraine. You're going to see the country that starts with a C and owns TikTok move on the island that starts with a T. That's exactly how it's played out. But I don't give my opinion on the foreign policy. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? All these like, I'm sitting here in America, in a country that hasn't been affected by any of this. So who am I to say anything? All these little keyboard warriors on Twitter. They couldn't find Ukraine on a map, literally. They couldn't name the president of Ukraine. They had no idea about the SWIFT system. They don't understand why the sanctions won't affect Russia. But yet they stand with Ukraine. And all these ignorant people open their mouths to gain attention. Exactly, bro. Exactly. How to use the new system without QR code ID? No, guys, the digital ID is coming. Digital IDs. Oh, is XRP moving? Up to 76 cents. We got a fat green candle. Not really, but we got a green candle printing right now here on the charts. That's good to see. No, digital ID is already here. You got a TikTok account. You asked that question from TikTok. That's a digital ID. Your Facebook is a digital ID. There is no hiding from this surveillance system, from the central bank digital currencies, unless you go completely off the grid, unless you live the life of John McAfee, where you're only going to use Monero, you're going to use gold and precious metals and cash. That's the only way to go off the system, guys. Other than that, I mean, I don't concern myself with privacy. I don't commit crimes. The only crime that I commit here in this age of disinformation is by sharing truth. Other than that, I run my business completely legit. My landscape business. I have clients all the time that ask me, "Oh, what kind of a cash deal could I get, bro?" It's like, cash deal doesn't, we don't do that anymore. No, we pay sales tax on everything. I want to sleep good at night. And if you're not committing crimes, if you're not doing anything that's bad, what are you so worried about? Oh, and all of your payments and activity being tracked? It's already being done through all of the digital payments. You have an Amazon account. That's all tracked. I don't know what you guys are trying to hide from. What you're worried about. Now, I will say this, though. Let me back up. What was happening in Canada is what you guys are worried about. And I get that. Right? The bank accounts being shut down, all that happening. That's why we recommend having some cash on hand. That's why we stock precious metals. That's why we have cryptocurrencies. I can trade my XRP right now without internet connection, just by scanning QR codes on the Zum wallet. XRP proof of payment. Isn't it interesting when we have the threats of cyber attacks and everything going down? There's one cryptocurrency that you're able to use without the internet. I find that interesting. So I understand what you guys are worried about. This is the battle that we face. But the fact of the matter is that in many aspects, we've already accepted the digital ID. We've already accepted digital payments that are completely tracked. Everything's already out there. So that's what I mean. Like, and that's why in America, we still have our First Amendment. It's because of the Second. So for the rest of the world, my heart goes out to them, because a lot of these countries, like in Canada, they don't have the Second Amendment to defend themselves from an oppressive government, a tyrannical government. But here in America, I get it. What crypto can you use and trade without internet? XRP through XPOP, proof of payment created by the Ripple developers. Allows you to use the XRP ledger without internet connection. Tired of paying these criminal taxes? Yeah, so that's where I stand, is we have to fight through legal methods to uphold our Constitution, to uphold our personal and individual liberties. So there's two routes. You either go off the grid, live in the mountains, or live the life of John McAfee, or you're already out here in the public space. I have 800 people watching me between TikTok and YouTube right now. So for me personally, there's no hiding. I already have hundreds of thousands of people who know who I am. I don't get to hide anymore. So that means I have to confront the battle face to face. But I don't get caught up on worried about, the digital IDs. I'd rather just have a digital ID that's on a blockchain that can confirm my ID so that I'm not going to be impersonated, that I'm not going to be hacked, that I'm not going to lose access to my funds. I'm not worried about being surveilled. We already are being surveilled just by using this phone, just by being online here. Now, don't get me wrong. If the world does absolutely go to shit, I totally don't rule that out. Going off grid, moving to the hills, and not having any internet connection. We need to do a podcast together, Zach. If you want to reach out for interviews or inquiries, zachrector.com. Just go to zachrector.com. You can hit me up there. Won't big banks fail? The banks are going to be consolidated. I don't think that they go away. Not completely, but the big banks are going to, or there will be consolidation. When you give up your freedom for security, you give up, when you give up freedom for security, you end up with neither. Yeah, I get it. And that's the thing. As long as I still have my freedoms to speak freely, to use my money how I want, then I don't have a problem. Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't worry about privacy. I've already, it's too late for me. Maybe you guys want to go off the grid. Once XRP hits a certain price, I probably will go off the grid and hide from all the Bitcoin maxis. They will force you to get the jab and not just one, about 30. You don't need to fight these people. It's what they want. Is cash going away? Yes. What CBDC will be worth in today's value? Any thoughts? A dollar is going to be worth $1. It's just going to be restructured and revalued. The best is yet to come. Don't run for the hills. Yeah. Are the governments lining up to ban Bitcoin? In Europe, they are. Many other countries already have. What do you think of building an off-grid community? That's going to be XRP Island, bro. XRP Island. Opinions on the V? I hope it works out. Yeah, I hope it works out. How much extra XRP should I own to be comfortable? What is the time frame on this? News are pushing long war. Yeah, I believe that we're about at peak fear, so I think that this thing actually is going to move back up to the upside rather soon. If you checked in, make sure to go back and listen from the beginning. Great content. Don't miss it. Yeah, I'm going to put in the description that first 30 minutes are covering the news. And then after that, we've gone into about a half an hour of Q&A now. It's not too late to go dark. Anyone can do it. The state has proven it to be your family. Here's the thing, though, about going dark and going off grid. Part of me wants to stay and fight the good fight. Part of me doesn't want to give up and go, like, maybe it will get so bad at some point that, yeah, we do that. But for me, in my position, I'm just here to fight the good fight. I think that it matters. China just announced an exercise in the South China Sea starting tomorrow. Well, my sources did say that they were going to move on that island. What will happen to 401ks? I wouldn't be in the stock market right now. That's all I got to say. I wouldn't be in stocks. Personally, I would not be in stocks. Why would anyone want a CBDC tied to the Fed? Guys, nobody wants it. It's coming. We're not going to stop it. How do you benefit from it? You hold the bridge currency that's going to bring all the central bank digital currencies together. Do you want the US dollar and everything everything that the US dollar is responsible for? All the wars? All the crimes against humanity? No, but you still use it. That's the point. The CBDC is meant to be used. The US dollar is meant to be used. Then you stockpile the blockchains that are actually going to run a new financial system. You stockpile precious metals. Here we go, guys. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Spoke to my family in Ukraine today. Don't believe the media. It's BS. Exactly. And I am seeing so much of that come out. And like I said, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected. I understand that in the world stage events, real people's lives get lost. So I'm not dismissing the situation. I'm not dismissing real people in a tough situation. I'm just saying that our Western media has been lying to us forever. Am I waiting 65 days on Uphold? No, I use a debit card. I can instantly withdraw my XRP from Uphold. If you need to buy large amounts, more than $500, just go to Qcoin. Discovery ends on Monday. Yeah. Yeah. In the Ripple lawsuit. I heard CBDC can be programmed to determine where it will be used. Yes, they wanna issue the central bank digital currencies because they are programmable. Yes, they could issue them and give you 1 month to spend the money. They could issue a stimulus check and say you have 1 month to spend it. Yeah, and then they also have the ability to shut you off. Did you catch the DeFi ad on YouTube? What are you talking about, Sabina? After I get off this, I'm gonna upload our DeFi call to Patreon and Discord. We just did a DeFi deep dive on Thursday. That was exclusive for the Discord members. What happens to companies whose balance sheets are denominated in the US dollar? From Munich, what's up? What's up? What do we do with our 401k? Guys, for one, I wouldn't be holding any stocks. Two, I wouldn't be worried about dollars in my bank account. Okay. It's all going to be convertible to the new currency. Whatever that central bank digital currency is, it's all going to be convertible. What I'd be worried about is how much can you buy with that dollar in the meantime? They're telling us that inflation's 7%. If you use the CPI data from back in the 70s and 80s, how they used to calculate CPI, we'd be at 15% inflation. The cost of lumber is up 76% year over year. I'm raising prices in my landscape business on some of my clients by 100%. Across the board, on average, 10 to 20%. Some clients, 100%. So that's the real rate of inflation. I'm not giving you guys financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell off your 401k. I'm just saying personally, I wouldn't own any stocks right now. You're causing inflation then. No. See, our Federal Reserve and the monetary policies that they have been establishing and operating with create inflation. I have to adjust the price because the cost for me is going up. Instead of, and before you make a little comment like that, understand that what I used to pay guys was about $13 to $15 an hour starting out. Now I have to pay them $17 to $20 an hour starting out. And for crew leads, we're going to be paying $20 to $25 an hour. So that's not me causing inflation. My dad has all of his money in the 401k. Yeah, I just worry about the stock market. It's on the edge. It might get one more push up with cryptos, one more push up before it really is brought down. But they're also talking about cyber attacks on our financial stock market. I respect that. It's just a domino effect. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't blame the restaurant for increasing their prices when I go out to dinner, right? And I'm paying $20 a plate. I don't blame the restaurant. What do you think of life insurance with cash value and doesn't worth to get involved? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Damn, y'all hiring? Yes, I am hiring. I can't find people to work. That's my other problem. Why I have to raise prices. I can't find people to work. We're paying 20 to 25 an hour to mow yards and full health benefits as well. One of the best health benefit packages you can get. And I've been talking about this for a while, is that people are going to be paying $50 to $100 an hour to have someone run a shovel for them on their property. Now that sounds ridiculous, but guys, that's what inflation's going to do to this. Like the average cost of the yard used to be 30 to 40 bucks for my company back when I got started. Now obviously you always start cheaper, right? The average cost now is probably 45 to 50. And we're charging $70 an hour for any services essentially. So a $45, $50 cut is a yard that we do in 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. So we generate at least minimum $70 an hour. So if someone wants us to pull weeds on their property, they're going to pay us $70 an hour minimum. That's what inflation has done, guys. And that's what's funny about the trades. A lot of people knock the trades. I don't knock the trades at all. I mean, obviously, I'm in the dirt. I run my landscape business. They're going to be making shit tons of money because no one has the skills to pay the bills. No one wants to do the dirty work. Hard to find truck drivers. It's hard to find skilled labor, technicians. All the skilled trades are struggling. Guys, the point being is that there's a lot of opportunity for you if you're willing to go out and work. For those that want to go out and work and actually have skills, this is your time. And this is why I advocate not necessarily going into business for yourself, but when you create more value for your company, you're going to create a raise for yourself. And that's what you need to be doing during this time. We know that inflation's 15%. It's not 7%. It's probably closer to 15, 20%. And then the cost of other commodities like lumber is up 76% year over year. So you need to figure out how to raise your value so that you can get a raise that's 10, 20% this year. You can't wait around and accept a 2 or 3% cost of, that's what they call it. The cost of living raise at your job is 2 to 3%. You got to figure out and say, hey, boss, you know what's happening. I know that your prices are going up. You know that my cost of living's going up. I'm going to figure out how to create more value. I learned this new skill over the last year. Or, hey, I'm going to start taking classes to earn this other skill, to earn this new certificate. Now, if you're in business for yourself, well, then you get to set your price. Please answer my above question if you get a chance. Jericho, what's up, man? Yeah, so I mean, we used to charge $40 an hour for our services. That's what we strived for, making $40 an hour. Now we're at $70 plus, just for basic landscape work. So that's the real inflation rate. When they tell us 7%, that's BS. What would you do with your money in the bank if a possible cyber attack? You're not going to do anything with your money in the bank during a cyber attack. That's why I recommend having some cash on hand, having some precious metals. Thank you for tuning in, guys. 500 in the YouTube. We've finally dropped below 200 in the TikTok, but it's been a lit session here with you guys. I want to say thank you for tuning in. As always, if you want to support this channel, you can head on over to zachrector.com, sign up for the Discord, and we have all the links up down below as well. I appreciate all of you guys, and we will see you in the next one. I wish you the best. Take care, and God bless. If you need the links, zachrector.com. If you want to get in the Discord, it's zachrector.com. Okay? You can find all of my information there. Hope you guys have a great Saturday, great weekend. Okay, we'll watch this one closely. See if I drop some more content later today, possibly. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. It is the best Discord, 100%. Ray J, the super chats. Yeah, thank you to all the super chats today.